Hello. Today you're going to learn English travel idioms. I'm your English teacher, Chris. Let's go. Our first travel idiom is to get away from it all. Get away from it all means to escape the stress and routine of life by going on a vacation. Here's an example. This man might say, I've had a lot of stress in my life. I want to take a vacation to get away from it all. Our second idiom is to travel light or to pack light. This means when a person doesn't bring a lot of things with them on vacation, only the essentials. Let's look at this example. You're going away for the weekend, and this is your bag. You did not pack light. Your friend, however, has only a small carry-on suitcase. She tells you, I'm only going away for the weekend so I can travel light. Our third idiom is to hit the road. This means to start a journey or leave. Here's an example. Your family is planning a long road trip. Your car is all packed. You tell them, everybody in the car, let's hit the road, meaning let's leave or let's start our journey. Our next travel idiom is at the crack of dawn. This means very early, perhaps as the sun is rising. A person might say, we need to leave at the crack of dawn to be at the museum when it opens. Our next idiom for travel is to live it up. To live it up means to have a good time doing exciting activities and not worry about anything. For example, a young woman might say, my friends and I are going to a concert on Friday night, then to the beach on Saturday, and a house party on Sunday. We're going to live it up this weekend. Our next idiom also has to do with the way you travel, and that is to travel in style. To travel in style means to travel with lots of luxuries. First class travel, nice restaurants, exciting places. An example sentence would be, to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary, we're going to travel in style on a luxury cruise. Our next travel idiom is the opposite of traveling in style. It is on a shoestring budget or on the cheap. This means to do something without spending a lot of money. An example would be, after university, I didn't have much money but wanted to visit Europe. I did it on a shoestring budget by staying in hostels and cooking most of my own food. Our next travel idiom refers to the end of the day. It's to call it a day or to call it a night. To call it a night means to finish what you're doing and go to bed. For example, you had a nice dinner with friends, but you're ready to leave. So you say, I'm going to call it a night and get some sleep. It can also mean to stop for the day and rest. This man might say, I'm tired after sightseeing all day. I'm going to call it a day and go back to the hotel for a nap. Our next idiom is off the beaten track. This idiom refers to a place that doesn't have a lot of people and may be far away from others. You might say, we found a cabin in a small village that was off the beaten track. Off the grid is our next idiom. This means being disconnected from cell signals, Wi-Fi, and maybe even electricity. I could say, when we hiked across the Grand Canyon, we were off the grid, meaning there was no Wi-Fi or cell service. Then there is the idiom in the middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere refers to a location that's away from other people and things. For example, this couple might say, we got a flat tire in the middle of nowhere. We were far from a gas station or even a house. It doesn't always have a negative meaning though. For example, I might say, the best barbecue I ever had was at a restaurant in the middle of nowhere. This means that the restaurant was good, but far away from other people or other things. Our next idiom has to do with flying. It is the red eye. The red eye refers to an overnight flight. Here's an example. When we flew from San Francisco to New York, we took the red eye. We boarded the plane at 9 o'clock p.m. and arrived in New York at 6 o'clock a.m. Our next travel idiom is to live out of a suitcase. A person who lives out of a suitcase stays in different places for short periods of time. They only have the things they can fit into a suitcase. For example, many digital nomads live out of a suitcase and move to a different country every few months. Our next travel expression is to take the scenic route. To take the scenic route means to take a route that has a nice view or some attraction, but may be slower. A person who took a long road trip might say, instead of taking the highway, we took the scenic route through the desert. Our next travel idiom is to soak up the sun. This means to enjoy the warm light of the sun while relaxing outdoors. An example would be, I'm going down to the pool to soak up the sun. And our last travel idiom is to make a pit stop. A pit stop is a brief stop to get food, buy gas, and use the bathroom. Here's an example. You're driving with friends. You're hungry and low on gas. You say, hey, I'm hungry and we need gas. Let's make a pit stop. And that's it. Those are 16 travel idioms in English. If you would like this free PDF, there's a link in the video description. What about you? Do you have a question about English? Tell me about it in the comments. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.